Benedict is first to the stream. Welcome to the Moonwood Alliance, Dazu.
And a cutoff. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. First of all, Dazu, thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate that. I apologize for being slightly late. I do believe I was probably about 27 seconds late, and that is my bad. But at least I'm here. I'm here at all, which is a good thing, because I was this close.
Amaran Reap says, of course, art.
Of course. I was this close to probably saying, you know what, maybe not tonight again, because I am still feeling slightly under the weather. Not as bad as I was on Thursday, but yes. So this is my warning that it may not be a full stream, unfortunately. We'll see how long my throat and voice keeps up, and how long you guys can stand listening to my nasally sick voice. So yeah. But anyway, welcome everyone. Glad you are here. Hopefully everyone had an absolutely fantastic rest of your weeks and good weekends. If anyone did anything fun or exciting, I would absolutely love to hear it. But welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's see here. Axel, congratulations on being first. Always a good time. Selik, welcome. Glad you're here. And Dazu, of course, thank you for being here, and thank you for resubbing. I do appreciate that. Suck it. I'm pretty sure that's only allowed if you have been able to claim first, is you can then tell people to suck it. Cogodale Music, welcome. Glad you're here. And I did not. Yeah. I messed up after I said your name, but I didn't mess up on your name this time. So there we go. I don't know why. I think it's because I just always say Coco, but then I'm like, no, I should say Cogodale Music. And then when I do, my brain is just like, it doesn't know what to do. So yeah, welcome. Glad you're here. Let's see, Cameron. Of course, Art. Absolutely, of course. Fairly, hello. Welcome. Glad you're here. Hopefully you had an absolutely fantastic weekend. Celix says, oh, shoot. I didn't notice the font. Oh, yes. We're going to be talking about that in 2 seconds. Fairly says, whoa, card's looking extra easy to read now. I hope so, because I did a little bit of work on Thursday while I was not able to stream because, being sick and all that fun stuff. But I was like, I'm still going to get some work done. So I did some work, and hopefully things will work well. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. Have you added a seal yet? I have not. No seal yet. We will be getting there. I paid 4K mana for that. Don't worry. It is on the list. And it's still on the list. It's going to happen. I promise. 100%. Do not call me by my full government name. All right. We'll just go with Coco. Maybe it'll make me trip over your name less. Although I feel like I do shorten some people's names to keep me from accidentally tripping over them. So there you go.
Axel _ Benedict Jade 5 bits.
New commander deck,
I built a new command deck in black red. My commander's name is Asmarano Mardikardar Sudakar. She has no mana value and you must pay 1 red or black after discarding a card, and she searches for the underworld cookbook and sacrifices food to make creatures deal damage to themselves.
That is quite the name. That is an impressive name. If you could say that properly every single time, I would be very surprised. I wouldn't be able to say it properly the first time, so not bad at all. Summer Dev says, I'd prefer a sea lion enemy myself. Maybe we will have to add a seal and a sea lion. Also, Summer Dev, welcome. Glad you're here. Wait, new webcam. So not a new webcam. Last week. Was it just last week?
Axel _ Benedict Jade 5 bits. Asmirano Mardikardar Sudakar.
Okay. Not if the speech, the text-to-speech could say it perfectly every time. Because obviously the text-to-speech could say it perfectly every time. But if you could say it perfectly every time, that would be impressive. But I'm impressed. And thank you for the 5 bits. I appreciate that. But yeah, I got new lights last week. And we were trying to mess with them. And I was trying to get them just right. Because I feel like there's 2 settings, right? There's either I look very orange and like orange and green, like right there in the middle, somewhere around there, or I look completely blown out. Especially if both of them are like that. Oh my gosh. What if we go with white? Oh, it's so bright. 20%, 20%. See, now I just look super pale. Maybe if we just have one of them be warm. Nope, that's both of them. There we go. There we go. 20%, 20%. Ooh. Maybe we do that. That way I get like half not so orange and then the other half is orange.
Benedict Jade 5 bits. Sundirt movies.
Sundirt movies? I don't get it. I don't know. Oh, okay. All right. Calm down, lights. We go 20%, 20%. Which one do we think? Do we think having the more white one over here and then the warmer light over here? I don't know. My space is also not great. I don't have anything to actually, so the space that I have is quite small. And so I have them on like tripods, but there's not enough space for the tripods. And so I'm in an unfinished basement. And so I literally have the tripods hanging. You know what? This is going to be very bizarre, but we're going to do this anyway. So here we go. I'm just going to kind of show you how I have these lights going on. We're going on a journey. We're going on a journey, everyone. Join me on this journey. So this is how I have the lights. So they're literally hanging from the rafters on the tripod legs. I have them as tight as possible on the tripod legs, just hanging from the ceiling. So this is not the camera being upside down. This is just them hanging from the ceiling, being upside down. So I have them in the best spot that I thought I could possibly get them, but apparently they are not in a good spot. So I don't know. But anyway, there's a little bit of a behind the scenes with Moon Man. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. Now let's get this back over here. Nope, it's that adjusted. Okay, I think we're back. Welcome back, everyone. Glad you could make it. Okay. So anyway, so no new webcam. I'm still just using some cheap off-brand webcam that I've been using for the past couple of years now, and it works fine enough. I don't know. I did at one point, because I was like, what if I get a better webcam? And so I ended up getting this 1080p Logitech webcam at one point in time. I was like, this has got to be better, and I plugged it in, and it was worse, way worse than what this current webcam is. I don't know how, because you would think with a Logitech webcam it would be better. But no, apparently not. Apparently whatever this off-brand name is better than Logitech. Somehow. So I feel like until I actually spend real money, not the like $30 that I spent on this webcam, but I feel like until I get to a point where I could spend real money on a real camera, this is probably about the best we're going to get. This is just too much. Yeah. And I know we were kind of going over some of the filters last time as well, trying to get it just right. But I don't know what it was. If we set all these to defaults. Ooh, that looks real green. Oh boy. Okay, so what if we just turn down the gamma a bit? Just hold up. We're gonna make this thing go correctly. All right, so contrast. We want to turn down the contrast. What if we turn that down to like there? And the brightness. Ooh, okay, what if we bring down the What if we bring down the brightness just a little bit as well? And the saturation, we bring the saturation up just a touch, just a hair. Go. And we adjust the hue shift just ever so slightly. So we're a little less green. Something like that. I don't know.
Mathrodog wants Moon Man to do 10 bicep curls.
Oh boy. Okay,
Mathrodog wants Moon Man to do 10 chest benders.
About that, Mathra.
Mathrodog just redeemed Streech.
Hold the phone. Give me 2 seconds.
Axel_Benedict Jade 5 bits. Did I tell Etri of how I nearly cut off a chunk of my thumb last week?
I don't think you did. What happened to have you almost cut off a chunk of your thumb last week? That is not good. Whoops, I don't want to report. I want to do manage requests. So Mathra, I am going to refund those. Where are those? Where are those? Where'd they go? Wait, why are those not there? These sorted weird? Oh, they are sorted weird. Okay. All right, we're going to reject. So Mathra, I am so sorry, but I am gonna have to refund your points on those, and I just disabled the chest benders, the bicep curls, and the stretching because I'm not sure if you were here for the first couple minutes, but still feeling a little bit under the weather, still not feeling super great, and so I don't know. I almost feel like if I were to do chest benders and bicep curls and stuff like that, it would actually probably knock me out faster of the stream than I normally would have been. So I did refund those, so you got your points back. And but the next stream I should be feeling 100%.
Thanks for the follow, Scoiled.
Scoiled, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. And I'm assuming, Scoiled, this is you from YouTube as well, which I am so sorry that I have not responded to your message yet. Yes, yeah, viewer Scoiled, thank you so much for watching over on YouTube. Well, if you're still over there, if not, welcome over here to Twitch. Whew, I feel like I am getting very behind. I am so sorry.
Axel_Benedict Jed 5 bits. So I was training this new girl at work, and she put a chopper in the dishwasher tray wrong and it got stuck. My hand slipped and I lacerated my thumb, cutting about 3/4 of a centimeter into the tip of my thumb.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for the follow, Rubber Johnny 420 Milton.
Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Axel, that is horrifying. Holy smokes. Well, I hope that everything is okay. I hope. Did you have to get stitches? Or was it not that bad? Was it bad, but not that bad? Okay, so maybe, oh, jeez. We're just gonna leave it right there. We're gonna leave it there. We're gonna call that good. We'll see what happens eventually. I don't know. Who knows with this freaking thing? I'll just have to come in here and adjust things later. Ooh. That's going back to normal lighting. So that's without the hue shift. Holy smokes, it is green in here. Why is it so green in my office? Never mind. I know the answer to that question. All right. You know what? We're just going to call that good. Call that good. I don't know why that started and then stopped so quickly. Let's see if I can restart that again.
Axel_Benedict Jed 5 bits. It's healed up on its own, but I think the skin won't seal properly and knee will permanently have a dip in the tip of my thumb.
Well, I hope that's not the case. I hope that it will fully heal eventually. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's see here. Can you turn the contrast a little down? Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of mess with the picture settings just a little bit, just to, you know, see what I can get going here. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if these lights, they were on sale, so I was like, you know what? I might as well give them a shot. Before, the lights I was using were these were the lights I was using before. They're just like little just these little LED lights, nothing crazy, and they were fine, but like they were very directional, very harsh lights, and so I was like, and again, very cheap lights. They were the first lights I ever bought, and I was like, hey, I think they were like $15 on Amazon. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll give them a shot. And hey, they worked for a year, so they were fine. But then these ones, I was like, they're slightly larger, so they'd be a little less like directional. They're more of just like a glow. They give me a glow, you know. And yeah, so I don't know. It's just gonna take a little bit of getting used to and adjustments and things like that. Let's see here. Instead of Moonwood games, because your light flashbanged you. Moonman grabbing us was not in my bingo card. Chat, what did he show? If you weren't here for it, you'll never know. Logitech webcams have done their job back in the days. That's true. I've used quite a few Logitech webcams. Honestly, like, I think it's just compared to this camera, like, yeah, this is definitely not the best webcam in the world, but apparently it's just better than, you know, the cheap, because this is also an older Logitech webcam as well. Let's see, oh, that's the one I have. Oof, the L stands for Logi. Wait, you've got this one, Sumran Dev? This is the one you've got? Maybe I'm just doing things wrong then. If this is the one you've got, maybe I just need to figure out what filters you've got. Maybe that's how to make it better. Maybe. Nice camera, nice font, nice lighting. Thank you, Coco. I appreciate that. Used to be the best brand at one point. I mean, I still like Logitech for a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. And I know that I could get a better webcam from Logitech, but it's just that's the cheap one that I had. Or this is also the cheap one that I have. So I'm like, I'll use the better of the cheap ones that I've got. So, you know. Used to be the best brand at one point. Did you miss me? I did miss you, Mathra. I did miss you, and I'm so sorry that I'm not able to do the physical stuff. My bad. I have been sick since Thursday. So Thursday, well, actually it was Wednesday. It was like when I first started feeling it, like, you know, tickle in the throat and stuff like that. And then over time, you know, towards the evening, I started really feeling it. And then Thursday, I just had to work from home, and I was like, I will not be able to actually to stream tonight. And then I was like, okay, but like by Friday, I'm gonna be just fine. Friday, just as bad. Saturday, still not feeling great. And then now today, I no longer have like the chills and the heat flashes and like the hot flashes and the chills, the aching and all that stuff. I don't have that anymore. I'm just like stuffed up and kind of sore throat and a little bit of a cough. So, you know, should be better later. Should be better. No need to refund. It is my ritual. No, Mathra, you've got your points back. You have got your points back. Rubber Johnny 420 in Milton says hello. Hello, welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you for finding us here. And yeah, hopefully you're having an absolutely fantastic weekend. Or hopefully you had a fantastic weekend. I hope. Let's see here. What's y'all's favorite music genres? Mine is EDM. I go a little bit all over the place. Honestly, it just kind of depends on the mood I'm feeling. I was actually listening to some heavy metal before starting the stream, just kind of like trying to, you know, jazz myself up. So if anyone has ever listened to the song Ronald, it's a good song. If you have not listened to Ronald, I guess if you don't like metal or screamo, maybe don't listen to Ronald. But Ronald is a great song. Matthew says, Moon, I want to see you make a turn-based RPG with grid-based movement and attacks. Do it, just do it. So you mean make an actual RPG? I have actually thought about that I probably should do that at some point in time. If I'm going to keep making series and shorts and things like that about how to use RPG Maker properly, maybe I should make an actual RPG Maker game and not go so crazy. Maybe. It is a thought. Let's see. Thunderbird and Firefox both support macOS Catalina barely. Well, that's not fun. I guess it's good that they support it, that it's not fun that others don't. My favorite genre is whatever I'm making at the moment. Currently jazz. Jazz is a very good one. J-pop recently, also sea shanties, indie folk, and indie in general. I do like me some good J-pop and K-pop. My father listens to heavy metal. I don't listen to metal, but I listen to insanely mixed samples and drums. Hey, there you go. It's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, and honestly, like, here's the thing. I can appreciate basically any kind of genre of music. And so if anyone, like, I've never had anyone tell me they listened to a thing and had me be like, oh, that's weird. Why would you listen to that? So like, so yeah, I like that though. I like it. Very nice. All right, just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to come back in here. I think it's the saturation. Yeah, maybe if I just pull the saturation back. Okay, that actually helped a lot. That helped a lot. Now I'm not so red. It looked like I was very red. I don't listen to metal either, but some of the J-pop I listen to is hard electronica. Yeah, if you've ever listened to Baby Metal, Baby Metal, is that the band? Baby Metal? Yeah, because are they Japanese? I think they're well, they wouldn't be J-pop, but they're Japanese metal. Yeah, Baby Metal. Baby Metal is a good one if you are a fan of oh no, are they Korean? Gosh. Baby Metal stylized in its caps is a Japanese. Okay, yeah, they're Japanese. It's a Japanese metal band. Yeah, so if you like Japanese music and if you like metal, Baby Metal is absolutely fantastic. So there's my recommendation for everybody if you're a fan. Baby Metal is Japanese. Okay, I couldn't remember if they were Japanese or Korean for some reason. I don't know why I could not remember. Yeah. Moon, the foxes are gone. They are gone, but only for tonight. I realized that I had not had any time over the weekend, you know, with me being sick. And then, of course, my wife and daughter also got sick because I was sick. And so I had not much of a weekend. So I did not have time to go in and update the foxes with any new people who have subscribed. And so I was like, well, I can either do that on stream or I would accidentally make people feel left out. So I was like, instead of making some people feel left out, I was just gonna make everybody feel left out. And then Tuesday they will be back. They will be back on Tuesday. I promise. I promise. Don't you worry. Not to be confused with Baby Monster, the K-pop group. I got it confused too. I maybe that's why I got slightly confused. Maybe in my head I was thinking something like that. Maybe. But I do appreciate that, Coco. Thank you. See, Dakota over on YouTube says, hello, I got some good news. I can use the newest version of Godot for Premiere with internal graphics. Hey, very nice. That is very good news. Yes, J-pop group, Baby Metal, that or South Korean. Yeah. Baby Metal is a lot of fun. Love their music. Okay, everybody, let us take a quick look at art, and then we are going to talk about what is going on right here. I know that's kind of been brought up a little bit, but let's go take a quick look over here at art. Here we go. I also feel like I've probably missed a few things. Okay, doesn't look like I missed too much. So Loki says the next part has arrived. Oh, this is for the Game Gear, I believe. Very nice. I'm excited to see this finish, Loki. New art program. Oh, Affinity Designer. I love it. Affinity is an absolutely fantastic program. I was a part of the Affinity beta. It was a lot of fun. I really liked the beta. Even though I was a part of the beta, I was not able to actually get a key afterwards. There were some people that got to like have an actual key after it came out of beta, but I only got to be one of the few people that like got to test. And then they're like, all right, cool. Now you can buy it. And I'm like, maybe one of these days. But very nice. Do you feel like Affinity has been easier or harder to draw on versus your phone? I love freaking Affinity's vector side. Oh yes, that is like the best thing about it. Vector, being able to draw on vector is amazing. Yeah, she's looking fantastic. Jury's still out on raster art. Wouldn't have been able to have the little triangle parts on Procreate. For those wondering, that is Amson. Very nice. Yeah, beautiful stuff, Cameron. Absolutely. Yeah. Let me know. Do you typically you work out of layers quite a bit from your phone as well? When you were working out of Procreate, or was it like a single layer you were working? So I'm not 100% sure if Procreate. I'm assuming Procreate has layers. I feel like most every art program has some type of layer at some point in the program.
Axel_Benedict cheered 5 bits. How many bits to leak SDRDMs?
I think that I would need at least 100 bits, and I think we would probably have to have an agreed upon time for some randev. I'm assuming you're meaning SRD and not SDR, because that would be some dev rand, some dev ran. I'm assuming that's not what you're meaning. But yeah. So I'm pretty sure that what we would have to do is I would need 100 bits, and then we would have to agree on a time where some rand dev would go live, even just for like 5 minutes, so people could then go in and give them some bits as well, and then we would jump in and show the DMs. I think that's what we got to do. Some rand dev says, "Oh, I'm doing stuff like that." I'm not sure which part it was that you were doing stuff. Are you doing stuff like replacing screens in Game Gears? Are you doing stuff like drawing stuff in Affinity Designer? Or are you doing other stuff things? Hey, look at that, layers. Yeah, very nice. I love it. I love Affinity. It's all one program and free now. Oh, wait, it's free now? Well, then I might have to give it a shot. Krita was definitely a lot harder for line art. Yes, layers are better. Let's see, it does. Don't tempt me, Moon Man. Rubber Johnny 420 Milton says, how did I make hi-hats sound like spraying window cleaner? I don't know, but that sounds like a really great way to make some fun music. I like that. You should keep it. You should make a song with something like that. I think that'd be a good time. All right, everybody. Well, I'm sure that many of you are wondering what you were looking at when the stream first started. So, in my time that I had to kind of go through and hopefully get a little bit of work done, is I went through and tried to get a better idea of what this was going to look like. So, I know we were kind of working on this on the last stream on Tuesday, and this is kind of what I kind of ended on. So basically the idea would be, we got the cards right here. I added this part back, select a perk card. Also, because obviously some people noticed, new font. So I did go through and I redid the font. So previously on the other font, so if we come in here and we're just kind of like test, where should we do this? Test stuff. So on this old font, on the 3x5, there we go. Set this down to 5-point font. So on this font here, everything was capitalized. There were no lowercase letters. So everything was very square, which is the way that I had intended, right? And of course, like we've talked about before, some of the letters just got really confusing, like the M's, the H's, the W's. They all looked very similar, which kind of made it a little bit difficult to read some stuff when you were doing that. But this is, never mind. Yeah, so that was kind of the issue with the original font that I'd created. It was doing everything that I wanted it to do, which was basically, it didn't matter how many characters there were, it was always going to fit in the specific spot that I wanted it to be. I would always know, hey, there's going to be 10 letters that are going to need to fit here. I can have 10 letters fit here. I can make it fit. Everything's good to go. But obviously we've received a couple tips into the fact that it was a little bit difficult to read at times, and so took that went back to the drawing board with it. So a lot of the capitalization on, so this, we just say, this is example text. There we go. So this is what the old font used to look like, this guy right here. And then if we throw in a new one right here, and if we switch this over to the TOV font to regular, and we say this is example text, there we go. And then as long as I get this to the correct point, which I believe is an 8-point font. So if we were to capitalize everything here, so if we just do a little bit of that, it's going to look basically the exact same. Like there's a few differences, I've made the M's be slightly wider now, so they're actually readable M's. You can tell the difference between M's, N's, H's, all that fun stuff. So it is slightly different now, but it's pretty close, pretty much the exact same. But I have also added, so there is now also lowercase letters as well. This way, you can actually, hopefully it makes it slightly more readable so that everything is not capitalized. So that is the first thing, is I went through, made a whole new font for it. And yeah, so let me know what you think. There were some spots where I was like, I had to take a few creative liberties, like with the E's. The E's, I was like, I'm not quite sure how to get the E to work with maintaining this height. So they kind of look a little bit funky, but I was like, well, I can't really, if I throw that there, then it's kind of like, okay, it still kind of looks like an E, but not really. So I was like, okay, well, like I could have made it maybe taller, but then it just kind of sticks out and looks weird. So I don't know. So the E's are a little bit weird. The X's also kind of, there's not really a good way to split a 4-pixel high character in half. So some of them look a little bit weird. But hopefully things like, Q's and Q's look hopefully better than the old Q's and Q's. I hope. Fingers crossed. Yeah, if you remember the old Q's and Q's used to look like this. So not exactly the worst thing in the world, but hopefully that looks more like a Q. Hopefully that one looks more like a Q than this one does. I hope. But anyway, so that is like the first biggest thing here is the new font. Next is, tried to also adjust and have like an outline for the font on the card itself to hopefully make it slightly more readable as well. Excuse me. And then the cards are basically the exact same. But so this is kind of like the new layout that I got. But anyway, so you got the cards here, through this guy up here, just like a little instruction of, select a player perk card. And then over here, I know that like last time we were working on it, basically the idea would be the pop-up. So the pop-up that we used to have when you would hover over the text or over the cards here, a little box would pop up here and it would kind of like give the stat, right? And then eventually decided to throw it over here, and it was kind of working, and it was like, this feels okay. And then I started looking at it more. I'm like, this does not feel okay. That there were just too many line breaks. It just felt weird. So then I was like, well, what if instead over here we throw in the player's stats? So you'd have, the player's health is currently at 570, and then you're getting like a +7 from the perks, or your pyro damage, your geo damage, your hydro damage, and it'll just tell you what you currently have and how much you're getting from your perks, or how much you're losing from your perks and stuff. So that way you kind of know, what you've got, what it's doing, and all that fun stuff. So, so that's kind of what I had. And then, adding back the info hover box thing, where when you hover over the card, then it shows the box, and hopefully should be good. So anyway, so this is kind of what I had going on last Thursday. This was kind of just like the stuff that I worked on when I wasn't streaming. I was like, all right, this is decent. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not decent. So now I need everybody's help. So if you are here watching, I need your help. I need your help to determine which one you like more. So there's this layout. Got this layout here, right? We basically work the exact same way that the previous one did. So you hover over a card, and then it shows the info box. If you click on a card, it would take the icon, and it'll just move it down here into like this little icon section here. And then this is the icon section that's there throughout the entire run. So you'll know exactly what you've got, and everything's good to go there. Or the other thing that I kind of went with is this right here. So I know this is basically going back exactly how the previous screen looked, obviously, change this a little bit, but kind of like keep with these cards. And then, having the info that pops up here, but instead of having the box that is down here in the corner, basically the way that it would work is just along here on the bottom, as you're selecting the cards, they would then pop up down here. So as you get more cards, at more perk cards, they would then pop up. And then if you hover your mouse down here, they would then kind of pop up, and then be able to see, maybe pop ups like here or something. Oh my goodness.
Welcome the Tolhan, your 4 amazing audience members.
So thank you so much for that raid. I appreciate that. Welcome everyone. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. I just clapped and my light flickered. That was good times. Welcome. Thank you so much for that raid. I appreciate that. Hopefully you had an absolutely fantastic stream. I also like to apologize for my voice. I am getting over a cold, so hopefully that is not too terrible and distracting. But anyway, yeah, how was your stream? How did everything go? I would absolutely love to hear about it. Also, if you got a raid and run, totally understandable. I know that after a long stream, sometimes there's life to take care of. So if you got to do that, totally fine, totally fair, totally understandable. No worries at all. Coco says, say no to monospace pixel fonts. I mean, it worked well when I had it, but it is very difficult to read, I will say that. Those fonts look like the ones used in the Commodore 64. I mean, it's kind of what I was leaning into in the very beginning. I was like, you know what, we'll go with that. And then I was like, you know what, no, I need something to be just a little bit more readable. Rayleigh says, not to excite you too much, but readability and this kind of change is constant during the end of development, so I hope you had fun. Oh, it was a blast, and I know that it's going to be coming up probably multiple times right before the demo releases, and definitely before the final finished product releases, so that should be a good time. Anyway, so that's kind of how I'm kind of thinking this is going to work. So as you collect your cards, and I'm also kind of thinking about having the cards line up basically the same way they do when you're playing blackjack. So when you select your first card, your first card's going to go down right here in the center. And then when you get your second card, the second card will pop up here in the center as well. Let me just do a little bit of that there. But then basically they'll spread out, so you'll have the cards kind of show up like that. And then, over a card, it'll pop up, and you hover over that card, that'll pop up. Yeah, and so then as you collect more and more cards, they'll all kind of like spread out across the bottom. So that is kind of the two potential options as of right now. It's kind of going for something like that. So this is definitely more minimal. Obviously, like the only things you would see here when it first pops up is you would see this little guy pop up here. You'd have the 3 cards that pop up, and then if you're hovering over a card, the info window pops up as per usual. So really the only change we would be making to the system that we currently have would just be adding the cards at the bottom. And so when you're show the cards as you collect more and more, and then as you're going along, if you hover over them, the cards will then pop up, kind of view what they're doing and all that. So there's that. Or number 1, which is this guy right here. So if anybody has any thoughts or opinions, I'll kind of be looking back and forth between them. I'm kind of leaning more toward this one, but obviously, like, I designed them both, so I'm like, I'm open to either one. If anyone has any strong feelings one way or the other, would absolutely love to hear. Personally, I think it's better to give the player always visible icons. True. And that's kind of where like I wanted to add this back over here on the bottom right side, is so that people could see the icons and they could like associate like, okay, this icon is here, this is what this icon is. Because like, you know, as you're building out your character, you know, one by one with each perk card, you learn where that perk card is and like what it's doing and all that fun stuff. And so yeah, so I feel like having the icons here does make the most sense. Plus, it is kind of nice having the player be able to see this much more info here as to like what is actually like what their character is looking like and all that stuff. Easy to remember what does what. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is like, so as you get the icons and they show up down here in the bottom right corner, basically the idea is, you know, kind of how it currently is. If you were to hover over one of the icons, it would still show this info box and it will show you what it's actually doing. So you could know like, oh yeah, that's what that one does. But then you also see, you know, here in the top right section is where you can then see, okay, with the current perk selection I have, so this is not taking into consideration your like player level or anything like that. So obviously like this would show, you know, here, you know, if your health is 570, which like, I don't think you can ever get that much health. That's a lot of health, especially for this game. Maybe you can eventually. Maybe you can just like completely power your character like crazy. But where was I going? Oh yeah. So this number here is going to be everything combined. This is going to be your player's base stats, any leveled up perks, plus any of your perk card selection. So the buffs and the debuffs. Then in the parentheses, this is going to be specific to your buffs and debuffs. So this is going to show you exactly what is affecting your character, whether positively, negatively, or neutrally. And it'll just kind of show you, hey, this is how much more health you're getting. You are currently at 570 because you're getting an extra +7 health from this perk card or this perk card or one of the previous ones you've selected. So I also kind of like that, having just a little bit more information. Let's see, the Totally says, I had a good stream, just polishing a bit of chapter 1 of the game. Should be able to release a demo / vertical slice soon. Oh, that is a really happy time. I do have to raid and run today, but hope you have a good one. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your evening. And yeah, we'll see you in a future one. So thank you. Dozzy says, I don't know if it's correct English. Hope you got the message. Oh, for the, yeah. Like the one where you said, I personally think it's better to give the player always visible icons. Is that the one you were talking about? Because if that's the case, and if that's the case, and if this is the one you're meaning, then I would agree 100%. If not, like I'm still okay with this one too. Like again, I like both of them. I designed them both, so like I do like both of them. Fairy Winkling with the Twerking Ducks, welcome. Glad you're here. Hopefully, you had an absolutely fantastic weekend. How was it? Hopefully good. Anything fun or exciting that you did? I don't know. I just, as I'm going back and forth between them, I almost feel like this one feels more polished, you know? More polished, more finished, more like it's actually supposed to be here, right? Versus this one just kind of goes back to where we currently are, which when I look at the current system right now, I get that thought of like, this doesn't feel finished. It feels like a mock-up. It feels like something that I just threw in there to be like, okay, technically there's a perk card system now. There you go. So I almost feel like this one feels more finished and polished. Yeah. I think we're going to go with this one. I think this one feels better. So, yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. So, let's come in here. We're going to go to pictures, and we're going to pull up. Let's see here. We can just grab the town UI. That one will work. Size you down to 25%. Reason being, we are going to be grabbing that. This is going to be the actual layout, right? Because this was just like a general idea of like where it would be. But once we throw this in here, you can then see the exact dimensions. There we go. So pretty close. Honestly, for just eyeballing it, that was pretty close. That's pretty close for just an eyeball. I do think I want to change the actual UI to look more like this one though. Not necessarily size-wise, but I really like this whole, you know, the edges get like brighter as they get to the corners versus this one. Like it's fine, but I like it a little bit more when it like gets bright around the corners. I don't know what it is, but I like it. All right, so that is how that's going to be. So if that's the case, then here's what we need to do. We need to move the top because we need to recenter this. Oh, that's right. Also, we need... First of all, we need to get rid of all of this. By get rid of, I just mean I just need to come in here and do a little bit of this. Ooh. There's probably easier ways that I could have done all that, but whatever. Whatever. Okay. And these stats are also not anything set in stone. I just kind of threw in whatever random stats. I was like, you know what? That seems like something I would need. So there's probably going to be things that I add or subtract, but we'll see. We'll see. Pay me $1,000 for them. Holy smokes. Or 1,000 bits. Even still, 1,000 bits, that'd be wild. All right, never mind. Axel, I am upping my asking amount.
Thanks for the follow, Azure-side.
Azure-side, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Did you have a good weekend? Hopefully. But yeah, Axel, so it sounds like both Sumran Dev and I are on the same page here. So yeah, 1,000 bits each. And you can see our private DMs. See, Quizzical Jin says, makes these slots look more defined in a way. It kind of does. Yeah, I do
like having the, that there. Oh my goodness. I don't know if this makes my voice sound better or worse with my current illness, my current ailment. And, kind of fun though, let's see here. It says, I just realized.
Over the weekend, the Jellyfields demo was missing a cutscene. Oh, well, that's not good. I'm sorry, Fairly. Hopefully you can get that quickly fixed. See, Nick says, hello, welcome, Nick. Glad you're here. How was your weekend? Hope you like the animated version of the mockup. I did. It looks very nice. I love it. And if it weren't so difficult to animate certain elements in the game, I would 100% animate. Because that is actually something that I wanted to do early on, was animating like the health bars and stuff like that. But the way that I've implemented them, animations would be a little complicated. Could still probably happen, but... Dakota over on YouTube says, what are your thoughts on a game called Screeps, the practice JavaScript MMO open source game, which I think there's more languages. You can code and see how your creeps work in real time. Because, you know, RPG Maker uses JavaScript. Huh. So wait. So it's an MMO where you use JavaScript to play the game? If that's the case, that's kind of cool. I do like that. I feel like I'd be horrible at it, but it sounds like a good time. Yeah, never heard of it though. Never heard of it. But it does sound like a really cool concept. I do like it. Yeah, Quizzical Jin says, ailment of godly. Exactly, is the godlyhood ailment. Yeah, because just, let's see, S-O-Z? Saws? I know it's a typo, but I'm not quite sure what you're meaning to say. Just lost internet for a moment, so I'm not sure if you commented on my previous messages. Yes, absolutely love the mockups, love the animated version. Then I was just saying that if it weren't so difficult to animate some of the elements that I have that I want to animate, I would 100% animate them. Yes, 100%. But some of them are a little bit... not exactly the easiest to animate because they're all just images, and so I'd have to like be constantly swapping out images on the HUD, which is a little bit tricky to do. Possible, 100% possible. Just a little bit tricky. Maybe it'll be one of those things that, like, in the end, as like, you know, just kind of the polish and you know, getting things just right. Maybe I would do something like that. But for now, probably not, just because it is a little bit of it would be a little bit difficult to do, if I'm being completely honest. As it says, so HUD is bottom right corner is for cards, top right map/progression, top left items. Are you meaning on this screen particularly? Or are you meaning in general? So like if I were to pull this up, because the general HUD, yes. So the top right is the map/quests. The bottom right is your perk cards you've selected. So any of the perk cards that you have selected as you've been playing, they all show up down here in the form of just icons. And then the top left, yes, is the dice and the items, and then bottom left is the player. So that's where I'm like trying to like maintain that layout here as well. And so, you know, so even though like everything over here on the left side, so you don't really have your player stats over here, you don't have, because here's the thing, I did think about at one point in time, I was like, well, what if we do just have like the regular, and I know that other people pointed it out on the previous stream as well. I was like, what if we just have the regular HUD showing, and then, you know, the cards here in the center or something like that with the description here at the bottom, you know, basically just mirroring this that we have already. So yes, you'd have the cards up here in this section, the description down here, and then, you know, you'd have the items, your perk cards, your character stuff here, which, you know, 100% absolutely we could do that. And then I was, you know, thinking about it, and then I was like, wait, we don't really have a spot to show, you know, if you have thorns damage being applied from a perk card. Don't really have a way to show that. Oh, excuse me. On the like the player stat screen down here in the bottom left corner. We also don't have a thing to like show if there's like any kind of experience multiplier or something like that. We don't really have a way to show that down here. So that's where I'm like, you know what, maybe we will just kind of maintain the right side and then just shove everything else centered into the rest of this section here, and then we should be good to go. I hope. We'll see. All right, so if we just throw you there and then throw you over there. Ah, crap. Really? What is this? That would do it. All right, well, close enough. What was it? 75? 77. Oh, all right. Well, just because I'm lazy. 38.5. Well, then, let's go with 39. Okay, then we've got the info box. Let's get that centered. 65, so that'd be like 32, 32-ish. Yeah, sure. Close enough. You over to, oh, you be 49. Yeah, something like that. Close enough. Dakota says it's a web browser game and it's on Steam right now on sale. Oh, it's kind of fun though. I like that though. I like it. I'll have to give it a shot. Just if nothing else, I'll have to give it a look-see. All right. So, let's see here. I think everything should be centered then. I'm trying to decide. I think what I want to do is I want to have the cards actually centered top to bottom, and then have this kind of offset it a little bit, and then when the info pops up, then it's offset even more, but it should be okay. Yeah, I think with these being like the origin points of the cards, they'll just kind of bob up and down, go down to that point, and then go back up, down to that point. Yeah, it should be all right. Should be fine. All right. Cool. I do need to adjust the cards a little bit, because we currently have the perk cards as of right now. This is what we currently have, which they're fine. I think that I adjusted the size of the perk cards though just a bit. Can't remember how much though. We put you down to 20%. Okay. These cards are 46 by 70, and these cards are 48 by 72. I literally just increased their size by 2 pixels in both directions. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's not too bad. Well, then, try to decide what's going to be the best way to go about this. Then we could. Let's do this. Let's grab a card. New 61 by 79. Are you 61? Oh, that's right. Because we also need to have these have a stroke, an outline. So 50 by 74. I'm gonna do 50 by 74. Go. Okay. Yeah, that should be all right. So let's do this. So on the text itself, we want to have it be a slightly darker. I wish. If there's one thing that I wish that Photoshop could do better, it was better specific pixel art stuff. And I know there's better options out there. But it's like, here's the problem, right? Right here, I just have it doing a drop shadow, right? And I could do a stroke too, like whatever way I wanted to do this. But if I set this to be black, right? Jet black. I just say, hey, have it be a size of 1, spread of 100%, which means that it should be a solid black, right? All the way around. But as you can see here, like it might be a little bit difficult to see, but like right here is a slightly lighter black than that. Like that's the actual black. And then on the corners, it goes just slightly brighter than black. And I'm like, why? Why could you not just, yeah, kind of frustrating. So I think what we're gonna have to do just to make this as simple as possible, we're gonna still use drop shadow. Take the size down. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of this because, yeah. Sometimes it's what you gotta do with Photoshop. Ah, crap. Actually, I might have to do something else because that just kind of looks funky. I think what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go with 135. You would be 45. You'd be negative 45. You'd be negative 135. What in tarnation? Something like that. There we go. Have a stroke, you say? My blood proceeds to clot. No, please, Nick, don't have a stroke. Don't have a stroke. I want Photoshop to have a stroke. Yeah, take that, Photoshop. Okay, that should be better. So you are solid black. So are you. So are you. Just a bunch of zeros. Awesome. Okay, so that should be good like that. Okay. The icon itself, yeah, that should be fine. I think the only other thing we need to change here is the font color. We don't ever want to have a just absolute white, because that is the actual font color in the game. I think it's still more than readable with the stroke. Yeah, it still has anti-aliasing. I know, which is what's really annoying, because it's like, on the text itself, I have it set it's set to no anti-aliasing on the font itself. Then it's like in here, drop shadow. It's like there's no way, like there's nothing in here just like disable anti-aliasing, and I'm just like, I really wish that you could. Oh well. Actually, no. Look at that. Look, it is turned off. Anti-aliasing. It's turned off. That's on. That's off. But then if I don't have all of these guys, then it goes back to its whole weird thing where like the corners are just like ever so slightly. Layer knocks out drop shadow. No, no. I don't know. I don't know. That's okay. That's all right. It's whatever. It is whatever. All right. So that should be good with that. Although, do we want this to be an actual like solid black thing? Or do we want to go with like just a darker brown like this one? So that's the other thing too, is let me pull this up. I'm going to open up cloud documents. I want to pull up, is that the newer? No, this is the newest color palette. So I think maybe what we want to do is we probably want to use this dark brown. So instead of the solid black, let's just use the really dark brown. And that should be good. That way it's not just like, you know, just an absence of color. That way it's got just like a little bit more there. That should be good. Okay. And then same thing if we then copy this layer style, and then on the card itself, we want to paste the layer style. No. No, 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 no. Add another group. We're just going to call this one stroke. Throw the card group into stroke, and then we're going to paste layer style on top of stroke. There we go. Now we've got like an actual stroke on the outer of the card while also having this little lip right here. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, but stroke is always set to still have some semblance of it, even when off the hazards of using a program for things it wasn't meant for. True. That's a good point. And that's why, like, yeah, I can't complain too hard because I'm just like, Photoshop is not really actually designed for doing pixel art. So it's like, you know, I got to pick my battles where I can. And this is not a hill I'm going to die on. So, you know. It is what it is. All right. So I think that should be okay.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. And there we go. The voice is gonna just... The voice lets me know that everything's gonna be okay. Alright, so let's just make sure... As far as the font goes, should we just go with the regular... I think we're gonna go
with just the regular white font that we have. We're not gonna do... Is it this one? Oh, it's even slightly lighter than what we had before. Awesome. That'll make it even more readable. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about maybe doing like this one right here, since it's the complete opposite of the darkest dark that we have for that color. But I think we're going to stick with this, with the white. Yeah. I think that works best. Okay. I think that should be a good to go card. So if we save this, I actually want to pull this up. I'm going to copy all of those just because I don't want to lose these just in case everything just kind of isn't good with them. So let's come over here to Documents, Games, Tomb of Vercilias, Images, Pictures, Old Assets, East. There we go. Got a good backup. Awesome. Show. We go to PNG. Downloads. Tomb of Vercilias. Images. Pictures. Perk cards. Okay, so this is going to be perk 5. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Go. And then I just need to now go in and update all the rest of these. Yeah. It shouldn't be too bad. So come over here to perk cards. just grab. So we got perk card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is gone, then 6. Okay, it's 5 is all the way down here. Actually, let me just take a quick look. So, oh wait, we've actually got to upscale this guy really quickly. Go to 400%. Save that. Okay, just so you can kind of have like a general idea of like what we're going from and to. So this is what the card looked like before. This is what we're going to. I do feel like this one is a lot more readable than this one. Yeah, not only just with the font change, but with the outline, it does feel a lot better. All right, well, there we go. Good to know. Now, grab all these guys and open them up in Photoshop. All right, perk card 1, let's resize you down to 25%. I'm gonna grab entire scroll. And oh, that should be copy you. Come over to here. Icon. Up. So you would be there. That would be centered. Okay. I think the other thing we're gonna do is I want to. Yeah, let's do this. Let's paste you the layer style. We have the same stroke around. What if we get rid of this one? It doesn't feel quite right. What if we set you to 90? Or to 0? You're to negative 90. You're to 180. There we go. That's what I want to see. Way better. And as a part of this, we also want to add. Do we need to add this like extra drop, essentially? So we have the stroke that goes around the whole thing. Nope. We're just gonna stick with the stroke around the whole thing. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Quizzical Jin says, yep. Let's see. I'm on a similar struggle bus with Psy. That's my preferred art program, but it also has its own anti-aliasing issues. Oh, yeah. That's not fun. That is not fun at all. Hopefully, I'll be able to get around them soon. I hope. Yeah, that does improve legibility. Nice. Well, then I would say, at the end of the day, this will all be worth it. As long as it actually makes it easier to read, it'll all be worth it. How do you remember so many steps for consistency? Because I've been doing this stuff for so long. It's honestly it is just repetition. Like I've done so many weird random things to make the stuff that I want to do work just so many times for so many years that like even just like the smallest step, it just, I don't know. There's a lot of it that I just like remember and I'm like, oh yeah, I do this to make this thing happen. So yeah, consistency. Consistency is a great way to go about it, I will say. The only other thing at this point then is, well, we want change the name. This one is Fairly's Fantastic Scroll. We're just going to close that. Fantastic. I knew it looked wrong. Oh my gosh. Why cannot I spell fantastic? Fantastic. Holy smokes. Scroll. Wow, that took so long to actually spell out. Fairly's Fantastic Scroll. There we go. Now, we don't want that. I do want to see if there's going to be some way that I can like add like a decoration to each of the cards themselves. So it's not just, you know, the Mathra's ale-soaked gauntlets with like the special like splatters on the cards. I do want to get it eventually like that, but for now, this is what we got. Okay, now for this, let us fill that in. Now let's add just a little bit of some. Oh, that would be why. Okay, all right. I was like, why is it not? Okay. All right, there we go. But add, you know, just some tears, some rips and stuff like that. You know, make it look hopefully a little bit better. Loki says, good evening. Well, evening, but good evening to you, Loki. Welcome. Glad you're here. How was your weekend? How'd things go for you? Okay, so let's close. The perk card 1 should be good to go. So I think, yes, we're getting rid of the drop shadow. Things are good? Good to hear. That is good to hear. How is the, gosh, why can I not remember what it was called? Game Gear. It was Game Gear, right? How's the Game Gear going? How's that project coming along? Saw you posted the screen and the new board. Pretty exciting stuff. That's what this is missing. I just realized. Well, no, never mind. It's not missing anything. It's that this is a, yeah, never mind. This is just a darker outline. We're good. We're good. Okay, so let's save this as, oh, actually, no. We can close perk card 1. Then we then need to save this as perk card 1. Perk card 1, yes, replace it. And then perk card 2, we need to resize you down to 20%. Grab the bottle. Put you in here to the icon space. Okay, so the bottle itself is incorrect inside. Cool. Good to know. Well, let's throw you right there, and then we'll throw you. Yep, that should be good. Delete you. Basically, just want to copy and paste you. Oh. Copy and paste you. Make it slightly longer. That way, you're going to be. It's 24 by 24. Oh, it's because I'm going from... Okay, never mind. We're good. Now you are 22 pixels. Cool. All right. Okay, you are Griffin's Potion of Power. Crap. GRX. That's right. F and N. 2 Fs, not 2 F. Here we go. Griffin's Potion of Power. Yeah, there we go. Trying to get that working now. Oh, hopefully it comes along quickly. I also got a new phone. Hey, that's exciting. What kind of phone did you get, Loki? As I says, potion bottle scroll. Exactly. A good old bottle of potion scroll. Or a potion bottle scroll. Just go super literal with the names. Okay. So then at that point, we then just need to fix this guy. There we go. Had a few tears and deformities and stuff. Sure, why not? Why not? All right, that should be good there. Save this as perk card 2. That. Perk card 3, Nick's Hat, Fine Wisdom, 25. You in there. Okay. That. This is, yes, it's Nick's Hat of Divine Wisdom. Nick's Hat of Divine Wisdom. Yeah, beautiful. All right, and let's fill this in with that. Oh, gotta take some random chunks out of this card. There's a tiny little one on the bottom. Yeah, tiny enough. Trying to fly right along. Perk card number 3. Save as PNG. Perk card 3. Okay. Perk card 4. Axel, I swear we're going to redo this to cheese, but for now, I'm just going to keep it as the daggers. But then it's going to become cheese. I swear it. I swear it's going to be cheese. 25. I just don't have time to come in here and redo the entire card, like create a new icon and all that fun stuff tonight. But soon it will be cheese. You have my word.
Axel_Benedict Jed 5 bits. Cheese emoji, 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 cheese emoji,
100%
cheese
fair.
emoji, cheese 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 emoji,
That's a lot of
cheese
cheese.
emoji, cheese emoji, cheese emoji,
There's a
cheese
lot of
emoji,
cheese.
cheese emoji, 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 cheese emoji.
Oh.
Kazi says, cheese emoji, cheese
Oh my
emoji,
gosh.
cheese emoji, cheese emoji, cheese emoji, cheese emoji, cheese emoji, cheese
I thought we
emoji.
were gone. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. Absolutely fantastic stuff. But I promise, Axel, it is going to happen. It is 100% going to happen. Let's just kind of throw a couple little things right here. Just kind of, you know, mess it up a little bit. Bloop, bloop, and bloop, bloop, and bloop, bloop. Yeah. I do like an actual slice. Just to be like, yeah, this thing is sharp daggers. Nah, that's too much. We'll do like that. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, this is going to be park card number 4, not park card number 4. Okay, park card 4, yes. We already did 5, 6, and then 7. I'm not gonna actually do this one again, the pyro charge. This one was never actually fully finished anyway. It's just because I didn't want to get rid of this icon. But I don't really care about this icon much anymore, so I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. So, we're gonna let that one die. This one, though, I am proud of the way that this icon turned out. We are keeping this one. We're not getting rid of this one. Okay. That. What was the pyro charge? I forgot. So, the pyro charge was originally going to be... Which perk card was it? I remember the perk that it was going to be. Oh, that's right. The perk card originally was going to be what the Spike Pauldron turned into. Because I was trying to make spikes. That was what this was originally. These were supposed to be spikes. And I was trying to basically create an icon for the Spike Pauldron before it was the Spike Pauldron. This was going to just be thorns damage, right? And so I was trying to make thorns. And I was like, this is not turning out well. And it looked more of like an explosion or fire or something. And I was like, that's not too bad. But then we ended up creating this, which I liked way more. And yeah, so I was like, well, I don't want to lose this. And now I'm like, we can lose it. We can lose it. It's fine. It's going to be all right. So, yeah. Let's see. Loki got the Red Magic 11 Pro. Ooh. I've thought about getting a Red Magic. Never have actually pulled the trigger, though. You're going to have to let me know if it's good or not. Let me know. Let me know. So yeah, Quasi says, that's a nice phone. I hope you like it. I should really get a new phone soon. The camera is on life support. It's so sad. So sad that like nowadays you get a phone and if it lasts more than like 2 years, you're like, all right, things are good. 3 years and you're like, this thing is awful. And then anything past that, you're just like, well, life is no bueno. Loki says, all the cheese might have caused you to miss the phone info. I did miss the phone info, but I did remember to go back because I did remember seeing that you had posted the message and I forgot to respond to it. So I got you though. I was a little late, but I got you. But yeah, very exciting stuff. So you wait, did you just get it? So yeah, so also got a new phone. So was that like just today or yesterday? Do you have enough info on the phone to feel like you can speak on it? It came Friday. Okay, so it's been a couple days now. Do you feel like you have enough info that you could speak on it? So would love to hear what is going on with it. If you feel like you've got enough to actually say one way or the other, if it seems like something you're going to enjoy, or if you're like, why did I get this thing? Okay, so this guy is... How many pixels is this? 22 by 21. Why would I do it that way? Makes no sense. Oh, I don't know. We'll let it be, though. We will let it be. Oh, wait, never mind. Maybe it was not quite like that. Nope, still 22 by 21. All right, cool. Cool. I have a Google Pixel 6. The camera shattered, but I do love the overall feel. Eyeing the Pixel 10 Pro. Not a bad idea. Yeah, the Pixel 6, decent phone. I think my wife had the Pixel 4 just like 2 years ago or something like that. And before I finally was like, let's get you upgraded to at least, I think I got it like the Pixel 7 at that point. And then just this past year, I think she got the Pixel 9 and she's really liked the Pixel 9. So we got on a really good deal with AT&T though. So we probably wouldn't have gotten, because I think she got the 9 Pro. So I don't think she would have normally gotten the 9 Pro, but basically got it for free. So we were like, well, might as well. Okay. Spiked Pauldron. Spiked All draw. Yeah. Okay. And then we basically just take this right here. Yeah, the last Pixel that I had was the Pixel 2 XL. That was my last Pixel, and I loved that thing so much. It was absolutely amazing. I loved the camera. I just loved like all the features that Pixel had. And then the Pixel 3 came out, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't trust. Maybe I don't trust Google anymore. Yeah, that was a rough phone. That was a rough phone. What phone do you use now? I've got the Samsung S25 Ultra. So it's a year old now, year and a half old. And still, like, I absolutely love it. I had absolutely no intention of ever getting the Ultra again. The only reason why I ever got an Ultra in the first place. So I got the S22 Ultra, like, however many years ago that was. 4 years ago, whenever the S22 was. S22 Ultra release date 2022. That would make sense. It's called the S22. Yeah. So I got the S22 back in, like, I think I got it the summer of 22, because Amazon had a refurb sale going on, and you could get the S22 Ultra refurb for, like, I think it was like $500 or something like that. And I was like, I'm okay to have like a 6 month or if like a 5 month old phone refurb for like $500-600, something like that. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I got it, and I had that for a few years, and like I liked it. They're very big phones, and I'm not a huge fan of like giant phones. I absolutely love the cameras. Like, the cameras are amazing, but and then, you know, having the stylus is nice and all that stuff, but I don't know. I was like, the next phone that I get, I want to have just like a regular size phone, like, whatever, right? And so when like the time was coming to finally upgrade my phone, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get the S25. I'm not gonna get the Plus. I'm not gonna get the Ultra. That's all I'm gonna get. And then my brother's like, well, like, what if they don't upgrade the RAM? Like, what if they're still running like very little RAM? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so what if like the Plus has extra RAM? And I'm like, maybe. And yeah, eventually it came down to the point where it was like, because again, like I got this phone for free, you know, signing like a 3-year contract with AT&T, because obviously if you're going to be with their services for 3 years, they're like, yeah, sure, we'll make our money off of you, so here, have a free phone. And yeah, so it was like, well, I could either get the S25 for free, or I could get the S25 Ultra for free. So I was like, well, I don't want to waste money on this. So yeah, so that's why I got the S25 Ultra again. Again, still absolutely fantastic phone. I love it. More than I probably would spend if I was just getting a phone. Like, if it was just me getting a phone, I'd probably just get like, well, the S25 or something like that. But yeah, anyway, so I do like it though. It is a good phone. Just very big, very large phone. Let's open these up. Let's get these resized up to 400%. Save 100, 100, 100, and 400. Cool. I done been inverted. Here I am. Inverted and everything. Inverted in all my glory. Okay, so let's throw you over to there. Perfect. Awesome. There we go. Let's see here. Excuse me. It runs what I need and works on network, so I guess it's fine. May have more once I have a chance to use it at work and actually do things on it. I rarely use my phone. That's fair. I use Samsung until the Note 7. The Note 7. Good times. Let's see. I rarely do much to get it to move, but plugged it in, you can see it. Also makes a little noise as it moves. Ooh, ooh. Oh, it doesn't liquid behind float. Gotcha. Yeah, talking about tech makes tech ads appear. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have an ad for Samsung tablets. It happens. It happens. I'm so sorry. I feel like tablets and consoles are just computers that happen to run a mobile optimized operating system. It is 100% true. Honestly, like if they were to just, well, okay, I was gonna say if they just made tablets run Windows or something like that, it would basically just be a computer. And then I'm like, they tried that. They tried that with Windows 8, and then it made Windows 8 horrible until 8.1. But you know, that is neither here nor there. We're putting the same CPU memory storage as we do for computers. Pretty close, pretty close. Well, especially nowadays with like mobile CPUs, like with in laptops and things like that. A lot of laptops do use you know, more mobile centric. They are working on stuff like that. So like my computer at work, it is running a Snapdragon. I almost said a Snapdragon CPU, which is a mobile CPU. And so it's a lot more power efficient, and slowly but surely, you know, it's getting more compatible with more programs and things like that, which is kind of cool because then you get like really good battery life, and still, you know, snappy performance, which is fun. Scoiled. Hello. I see. It's kind of crazy. First time chat over here. Not bad. And over on YouTube, Draco, welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you're over there. All right. So here's what we got. This is what we got to work with now. We've got the cards in place. So let us hide the cards here. Let's hide the info. That one. So this is what we should need for the screen itself. So let's do 400%. We're going to save this as, I believe we called this, if we call them to PNG, I believe this is just called perk screen. Yo, perk screen. Okay. Come over here. We should see the new perk screen pop up, which we do. You can see we've got this guy right here. We got the boxes, all that fun stuff. Yay. Okay, cool. Now, why was it not showing those correct? Yeah, why was it not animating the perk? That's choosing perk card. Yeah, why is it not showing the cards? Oh. Look at that, it's showing the cards. Okay, there we go. There we go, it's showing the cards now. Awesome. I don't know if I'm a fan of, like, now that I actually see it in the game, I don't know how much I'm a fan of having the stroked text. I might need to sit on that for a little. We'll see. Okay, so for this though, you like the black outline? Oh, well then, maybe I am just weird then. I think that maybe, I think it's just because it looks so different from how it used to look. Whoops. From how it used to look that maybe it's just throwing me off. I do like the redesign though, like actually looking at it next to the old card. I really like it. You know what, actually, now seeing it next to the old card, it doesn't look as bad as I was thinking in my head. Yeah, maybe that's not too bad, actually. I think it should be all right. Maybe space the letters farther apart. I think that's the issue. Are you talking horizontally or vertically? Definitely needs the extra pixel between the outline. Well, so... you meaning something like that? Horizontal, as some of the letters can be harder to read as they're so close to the others. Yeah. The only problem there as soon as we start spacing those out a little bit, though, we won't be able to fit the text. So if I come in here and I, do a little bit of this to where there's 2 pixels between. Yeah, so basically it would have to look like that. I guess it's not terrible. That's before. That's after. Or after. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I would just need to update the font. But I think it'd be possible. Or, I guess since this is all just baked into an image, I wouldn't necessarily have to update the font. Technically. Well, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, we can figure it out later. It's just a matter of updating the images anyway. Okay, so now we need to get the actual cards themselves lined up correctly. So let's do... let's do this just to get this set up correctly. So if we move you over to there. We go. Probably do this before I resize it. To you. 6. $54. Okay, that should be all right. Okay, so that should be where everything is at. Awesome. Up you to 400. Ooh, actually, let's do this. You. Now 400%. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay, so the first card is going to be 292, 360. Yeah. 292, 360. We've got... This is the correct width, right? I should probably make sure on that. 196. 200. Dang it. It's all right. It's all right. This is the kind of stuff that we can kind of cheat the pixels, right? So you are 294, 60. 34, 360. You are 510, 360. 10, 360. You are 726, 360. Okay. And then you are going to move to 294, 360. $10, 360. 726, 360. Okay. The illusion of choice. Wait, what's the illusion of choice? Wait, what did I do? What did I do that's an illusion? Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay. This is the actual them bobbing up and down. 3 spike cards on screen? Oh, well, I mean, this is just the example, you know. We are going to be fixing it so that you do not get multiple of the same card in one go. They all got to be different going forward. That is one thing that I don't want to have keep happening. So we are going to fix that. Okay. This is the actual it going up and down. This is image layer 2, 3, 4. Okay. Two, 3. And this, so we are going to have to adjust the height at which the cards are moving up and down. This will at least make sure that we are in the right spot. Crap. Okay, I thought, oh, did I actually hard code the X and the Y? I did. I thought I had it based on where the card was. Yeah, wait, what? Don't I? So if variable 1 is greater than... Oh, I just have it based off... Oh, okay. So I have the Y based off of the card's value. Okay. All right. Never mind. Should still be fine. 198. And 390. Card 2 is going to be 414. $606. Last but not least, card number 3 is 630 and $822. Okay, that should be better there. It still is doing weird things because of, you know, the hovering state. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so 2, 3, and 4. Copy those. Now on the actual hovering. Move picture, 3 frames. 3. Move picture in frames. 4. Picture, 3 frames. Okay. Awesome. Now I need to adjust info box. By adjust, I just mean graphically. Graphically, the info box is in, right? Yes, it is. Okay. It's updated to be correct. Go. Don't want to show those. I also don't want to show the arrow. The arrow I also need to update. I think I also want to add this whole gradient here to the edge here. I don't like it. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Let's copy that. New. Paste. So this is going to be the actual, go to perk. This is going to be the perk tooltip. Okay. And we need the arrow itself. That, new, paste, save this as the perk tooltip arrow. Okay. Now, where is this show? Let's see. We need you to show. No, that is correct. We just need to say you are going to show. Nope. Box is going to show 512 604. Box is going to be 12 604. Excuse me. Place that on all of those.
forgot there was all this going on. Oh boy. Oh boy. And I've been inverted. Well, well, well. Good time. Good times for everybody here. Alright, there we go. So that should be good for all of that. Now the arrows themselves. The arrows
are going to be... I have to change those a bit. So, where do the arrows go? The arrow right here. You're going to show at 504, 492. 492. Right. And then down here, we need to do the same thing, except... it's where are you pointing? So the center... oh. Okay. Huh. All right, so the arrow is not correct. That should be correct. Never mind on that first one. That first one is wrong. Cool. Okay, so where does this arrow go? You are going to 294, 492. 294, 492. 294, 492. That's kind of crazy if that's... is that actually accurate? $294, $492. Huh. Who would have thought? Also, that is for this one, not that one. Now, must move this over and get it centered. Over here, 214. Is that correct? No. You're 66. Okay. 92. 92, okay. You are 68. 68. Okay, so from the edge here, we just need to say 68. You should be 68. 68. Okay, cool. Now you, second arrow, did you show 510, 492. 10, 492. Last but not least, right here. You over, say, 68. You're going to show 726, 492. 726, 492. Okay, now I should be able to hover over the cards, and it should show the tooltip pop up correctly. That is not even close to correct. What is happening? Why? What? Okay. All right. Okay, well, first of all, what is going on here with this? You should be 198, 98, 390, 390, okay. we're 14. 14. Should be 606. 606. Okay. Card number 3 should be 630. 630. 822. 822. So why? Then you should have an else handler. Else, if you're anywhere in there, yes, move picture. So, wait, what the freak is this loop? What is this loop doing? Oh, that's okay. That's what that is. Yes, so basically I added a thing to where if you're hovering over the card, it then pops up with the tooltip, right? Then in that else handler, basically what it's then saying is if you are within the box here, then keep the tooltip showing. Yeah. Would love to help, but reading it seems impossible. It's all magic numbers. Damn you, RPG Maker. It's a little bit of a weird thing, but it should be all right. Should be all right. So, what I need to do then is if we come over, actually check here really quick. Perk. Did I update this? Perk tooltip. Wait. So there's the perk message box and then the perk tooltip. So what's the perk message box? Perk message box. Oh my god. So what's the perk tooltip then? What did I replace? I replaced something I shouldn't have. Well, that's gonna be awkward. Alrighty then. Well, show that. And then you're going to show tooltip. And you are going to show the tooltip. I don't know what I replaced, but I'm sure it's going to pop up at some point in time, and I'm going to be like, why is this incorrect? So even that is still very, very broken. But it's at least looking slightly better now. You know, aside from that. Oh boy. Always fun trying to, you know, fix things over previous systems. Okay. Well, all of that should be fine. All that should be fine. All that should be fine. Then this is if the mouse is 272 and 244. 444. I think what we want to do then is we want to say if you are 132, 504. 132, 504. And 892, 704. Okay. 892, 704. And if 637 is greater than 0. I don't know what that one means, but find out. Okay, so why is it still... Why does it maintain it while I go between those two cards? Yeah, there's something else going on. Yeah, there's something else after that that's doing weird things. I mean, this was a start. So let's just grab 2. 3. And 4. Okay. Wow, that is a holy smokes. That is a huge if statement. Okay. So if you're greater than or equal to, okay, so it's X, Y, that's the card. Which I'm now realizing the Y is going to be slightly different. Because 152 pixels was correct for these old cards, but not for these new ones. These are 296. I believe it would be 296. Oh, 296 divided by 2, which is 148. We want to get the halfway mark. 148 is the halfway mark. So I think then yeah, because then if we come over here, nope, because then on this one's 140. So what would have been 152? I guess it was giving just a little bit of extra. Yeah. So if 140 is the halfway mark, that should be fine for now. I think. Let's just see what it looks like. Yeah, so it gives just like a little bit of extra leeway, you know? I think it's all right. I think that's fine. Yeah. So. Let's close that. Close that. And down here, you're fixed. You are not fixed, though. You're going to be a big one. Here, if X and then Y, X to Y, or so is this, I think this is taking into consideration the position of all of the cards themselves. So, pretty sure this would just be this. 198. You get the Y value of the card. $390. And the Y value. Or $414. $606. Y value, or 630. $822. Okay. Let's see what happens there. There we go. So now I can hover throughout this box. Now if I switch along, yeah, there we go. Okay. That's what we like to see. Getting there. Getting there. So then if we come down here, what else do we have to do? This is for the other slots. So this is going to be the actual like item slots. We will need to do those. Eventually. Looks nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's slowly but surely getting it back to where it was before, and then we'll make it look even better. we add the hover state back in. I think so.
Dominating.
We are dominating slowly but surely. Okay, so let's do something along the lines of should we do like 24 pixels? I think 24 is a good number. But the starting point of the Y is 360. So we want to track 24 from that, so 336. $336. $336. Then you. Crap. Nasty. Got a hair in my mouth. Okay, so you would go back down to 360. 360. And then you are 336. 336. Whoa. 336 and 336. If you hover over it, you want to move you 336. Same here. 6, and same thing here, 336. I think you'd be the same thing. 336. 6 and 336. Okay, there we go. That adds the animation back, which is great, and then if you hover over it, it just like pulls it up, holds it in place. Crap. That should okay. It's not exactly needed. Trying to think if it's necessary. Because we have it set to where you can like hover over it, right? But if you slowly go, then it like loses that you're hovering over the card, and then it lets go. But if you move fast enough, then everything's fine. It's just if you're going slow, then you can't really hover over it. But do you really need to hover into the box? I feel like you don't need it. Kind of what I'm feeling. I don't think we need it anymore. Yeah, I think we should be all right without it. Ugh. I mean, we could just increase the like the cushion of the lower Y cushion. It's only when you're going slow. If you go fast, then it's fine. Because it doesn't have to, because like it's only updating the position of the cursor like every, I think it's maybe like 10 times a second or something like that. It's like if you go fast enough, then it doesn't have time to actually update where the cursor is. So you're able to jump in there, and then by the time that it checks again and is like, oh hey, are you in the correct position? It goes, yep. Then if you're slow, then it's like, oh, you weren't in the correct position. Goodbye. Although you can kind of just leave the mouse here and it like jumps back up. That's kind of fun. Okay, well, again, it's just one of those little things that it's like not the end of the world. But we'll get it back. We'll get it back. Okay. So, let's come over here. We're going to set you to be... Yeah, we're going to set you to be action button. And then we're going to turn on 141. So, you, switch 141. Dang it. Wait, how did I get it to show? Oh, that's right. I was not doing that last time. Okay. Well, let's just say, just show the perk tooltip. Just because. Just show it. There we go. It'll be all right. We'll get rid of those later. Cool. There we go. Let's see. Mustard Dragon says, "Hey, Skill Up. I didn't know you streamed." Well, first of all, hello, Mustard Dragon. Welcome. Glad you're here. I don't know who you're talking about, though. I don't think I'm Skill Up. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hopefully you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Hopefully you had a good weekend. Okay, so if we turn on switch 141. There we go. Now, let us adjust things here. Okay, so let's get... But if you are looking for someone named Skill Up, I'm sorry to disappoint. I am not. I am not this person. I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Last time that I checked, I'm not. Okay, so let's move this. So we actually don't need you to be so tall. Let's just say your max height is going to be like 200. Probably even that is still too tall. Yeah, that's still too tall. Just fooling around. I'm sorry that I didn't get. Sorry that I didn't get it. But I do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, just here, streaming, having a good time, doing some RPG Maker stuff. If you're familiar with RPG Maker, it's a good time. It's a good time. Okay, that at least gets us close enough. I mean, we can go a little bit more in depth later. For now, this should be all right. That actually reminds me, we do not have the font saved in here yet. Moonwood Games to Skillwood Games to Moonwood Games. That is the evolution right there. The good old evolution. So I need to grab the new font. Downloads. Where are you? Where are you, font? Oh wait, I already have you in here. Downloads. Where are you? Downloads. Tomb of Vercilias. Fonts. There you are. Okay. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to... It's probably going to be easier to just change the game font in here from 3x5 pixel TTF to Tav font 2 .ttf. Save. Now I should be able to come in here. Oh, there's a change right there. Then we should be able to turn on. Hey, look at that. That's a new font right there. That's a new font right there. Hey, look at that. Look at the new font. right, it's a little small. It's all right. All right, we're gonna figure this out. So I believe this is an 8-point font, correct? Am I correct in that assumption? It should be 32 then. You should be 32, not 20. Yeah. I just realized there's going to be so many updates I'm going to have to do to this. Because I don't know if you remember how many HUD elements there are. But there do be a ton. If I do that and turn everything back on again, let me just show you the drop down. This is how many HUD elements there are in the game currently. Now, true, not all of that is text. A lot of this is like image gauges and things like that. But anywhere where it says text or multi-line text, I'm gonna have to go in and update the text. Oh boy, this is gonna suck. It's all right. It's all right. It's gonna be fine. We'll make it work. It's gonna be all right. Crap. Oh well, it's gonna be worth it in the end. Gonna be worth it. That's greater than, sir. Oh, I didn't realize you were doing the greater thans. Yes, Moonwood Games is greater than Skillwood Games, which is greater than Moonwood Games. Can't really argue with that. The Wood Games hierarchy. Maybe there's a way to change size from the program. Oh no, HUD Maker specifies the size, maybe not. Well, actually, you make a good point, Dazu. I may break some things on accident. This may be an issue that I accidentally cause. I just want to see. So if we go to, I'm trying to remember. Where's that thing saved? I done been inverted. I do be an inverted moon man. It happens. Happens to
the best of us. And of course, there's the voice of God as I'm inverted. Hello. Hello. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. When was this last update? This should have been updated today. Okay, no, I don't know.
So it's not saved in the data then. I guess I don't think so. Maybe it's called, was it called Map HUD? That's notes. There's the maps. Map HUD. Okay. I'm like 99% sure that all of this, oh boy. Edition false, layers 0, font, game font, max width. Okay, so I think what I can do, I should be able to find there's that. Can I? I don't know. So I mean, I know that I can find, right? Hey, there we go. Find and replace. Okay, so I should be able to find all, it looks like 116 references. So that would have been 116. Oh boy, wait, what's happening? Let's see here. The OGs stan Moonwood Games. Exactly. Let's see, Unknown Artist says, sup, I haven't watched a stream in a while. I've been very busy watching anime. That's fair, Unknown Artist. Well, welcome. Glad you're back. How's life going for you, aside from watching anime? Hopefully things are well. As he says, backup time first, just in case. I probably should do that, actually. I probably should do that. Summer Dev says, OMG, I look over and not the JSON editing. Now, it's gonna be fine. We're only editing HUD elements in JSON. I'm sure it's gonna be totally fine. But here's my thought. If I find and replace font 20 and just say replace with font 32, Pretty sure that should work. Press X to JSON. See? Exactly. So if I just hit enter, does it only replace the first one? Does. And the next one? And the next one? All right, everybody. Whoever uses VS Code more than I do I have to sit here and hit... Oh! I accidentally hit 3. 32. Okay. Crap. Okay, so find any that say, crap. Okay, we're gonna close that. We're gonna do, cancel all of that. Cancel all of that. Okay, find and replace 32. Because just find that one. It's 104. Why are there only 104 now? 32. I thought I undid everything, though. Okay, all those seem fine. It's 32. Okay. All right. So then, if we say find and replace 20, it's 104. Then I replace it with 32. So I should be able to just hit enter a bunch of times. Maybe there's a better way to do this. Maybe we're just gonna hit enter a bunch of times. Okay, so it can only do that so fast. I'm like pressing it really fast and it's not going any faster. I think it's just because it takes time for it to get to the next one. There we go. So nothing, no results for 20. And then 32 should have 116. 117. Now what about 32, 3? Okay, there's none of those. Good. Well, let's see what happens. I have never adjusted in bulk a font size for HUD Maker in VS Code. Who knows? Let's save that. And let's see how freaking broken this thing is. Start. Okay. Oh. Well, I mean, it's a mishmash of everything as of right now. So we're definitely gonna have to go in and probably like adjust where things rest. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Pretty sure that some of the text is gonna be off ever so slightly, but that should be way easier than me having to have gone in and manually updated the freaking font size of every single HUD element. So, yeah. Good times. Good job, VS Code. I'm so proud of you, VS Code. You've done things and you've saved my life. So there we go. There we go. Unrunner says, I have a question about RMXP. Ooh, I'm ready for this. If you know how to do this, because I want to change the font, but I can't find an option to. Do you know how? I believe on XP. I don't remember if I ever changed the font in XP or not. I don't remember. I honestly do not remember. If you do, I think you have to... I think you've got to change it somewhere in one of these scripts. If I remember right. It's been so long, though. So long. Summerdev says, I'm playing OW, so can't chat much, but good luck. Lamau. Thank you. Thank you. Definitely pressing X to JSON, though. 100% Loki. Anar says, my life is going great. I got a girlfriend. My Twitch started picking up more viewers, and I have had lots of mac and cheese. I would say that last one is reason enough to say that life is going great. But everything else is just a, it's a cherry on top. That's absolutely fantastic to hear on an artist. I love that. I love that. Let's see. Zayden Nico says, hi. Hello. Welcome. Glad you're here. Hopefully you had an absolutely fantastic weekend. And I think my voice is finally starting to go out. I still have saved like 2 stream sessions, though. Oh, that's true. It still saved like 2 stream sessions, though. True. It really did. There's a replace all button in VS Code. Oh. I probably should have checked for that then, shouldn't I? That's my bad. That is my bad. Oh well. Oh well. It got the job done technically, so. Oh well. Okay, that is one other thing though that I think I need to adjust, which I can't remember. Would that be done in here? Fonts? $32. No. No. That's not where that would be. Nope, not even close. Where would that be? Now I cannot remember. Oh well, not the end of the world. Should be all right. We don't really ever show just regular text on the screen. It's all done in HUD Maker, so we don't really have to worry about changing the font. So, anyway. Yeah, I should probably know about that though. So if I find and replace all. Hey, look at that! Control Alt Enter. I probably should have just done that. Whoops. Oh well. You live and learn. See, Zayden says, I mean, it is technically a HUD. Wouldn't say it is game design friendly. I mean, maybe. Oh, I haven't seen too many MV users. That stream, Game Maker, RPG Maker. Damn it. You're good. Yeah. Still using MV, and that is just because we are so deep into this project in MV. Definitely gonna keep using MV until we finish this project, and then we'll probably switch to MZ for the next project. But yeah. I mean, I like MV. MV works really well. I really enjoy it. Are you also an MV enjoyer? Okay. So we're showing the text now. We should be showing the text now properly. So the tooltips are over here. Oh man. Yeah, so basically this is how we were having to show this thing. Yeah, so we used to have to be saying the scroll of line break, the magic scroll line break of fairly will line break, make you nimble line break, but at the line break expense of your line break maximum health. Not ideal. So what we're gonna do now is we should be able to say the magic scroll of fairly will make you nimble, but at the expense of your maximum health. Okay. Actually, no. Here's what we want to do. I need to adjust some other things as well. So let's turn on switch 141 again. Yep. And I need to adjust where these guys are currently sitting. Okay. I think we're going to have you be a max width of 250. Maybe 300. Just to be on the safe side. We go 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So yeah, Dodger says, I think it's in the database, then system tab. Oh, actually, that's probably where it's at, yeah. Most likely. Honor says, also I have another question. I'm going to have a lot. I started making a new game. So in my game, there's a lot of puzzles where you have to activate certain buttons. How is check if you got it right is just a bunch of conditions nested into each other. Is there a more effective way to check the value, a value with multiple variables? I mean, depending on how you have it set up, there could be. I mean, yeah, without looking at it, it's kind of difficult to know. But probably like the best advice I could give is if you are needing to check a whole bunch of different either variables or switches in a bunch of conditional branches. But if there's like, basically what I'm trying to say is whichever is going to have the widest effect on the puzzle, like whatever switch or variable it is that's going to be, you know, covered the most, have that be like the very first conditional branch that it checks, and then kind of like go in from there as well. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just that manual labor of just having to go through and being like, all right, check this thing next, check this thing next, check this thing next. Yeah, it's not ideal, but you know, it's kind of what you got to do, unfortunately. Yeah, just lots of conditional branches is probably where you're gonna have to go with that. So, but on the bright side, as long as you get it working, there you go. See, Zayden Nico says, I love both, but I use MV more often than not. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm currently at right now. I use MV a lot more than MZ, but I do love MZ. There's a lot of really great plugins, but the amount of stuff that I've done on this project, specifically for MV, it would be very difficult / almost impossible to switch without having to just like start from scratch, which I did not want to do. I think you need to make a script call using the and symbols. RPG Maker's limited in that sense. Scripting, well, I guess I need to learn Ruby then. That's true, yeah. XP is unfortunately not using JavaScript, so when it comes to actual coding, I would not be able to help at all. I tried for years trying to learn Ruby, could not do it. So yeah, honestly, like you should be good to just be able to nest them, and it shouldn't be the end of the world. But I guess in my head, I'm sitting here thinking like how many is it? Like 10 switches, 15? It shouldn't be too bad. But if you've got something like 50 or 100, that's where it can get a little bit frustrating. I do have it working. It's just very messy. Yeah. And I mean, you know, it's not ideal, but sometimes the messy code is where you got to go. Sometimes the messy is what you got to do. But again, like I said, as long as it's working, then I'd say it's not the end of the world. Let's see. So we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's do. I should be able to move you over to here. Okay. We grab this one, move it over here. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You are going to move over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. You're going to move over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to move over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we will adjust that later as needed. For now, that gets us in the ballpark. Same thing down here. You're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to allow for up to 3 lines of text here. Okay, so we then come in here and we say parallel process, and then here we get rid of that. All right, there we go. Let's see, over on YouTube, let's see, GHG9125 says, how hard is it to pick up RPG Maker MZ without any experience with making games? It's on sale right now, and I kind of want to get it, but I don't know. That is an absolutely fantastic question, and I would say if making a game is something that you have always wanted to do, RPG Maker, I would say, is like the best starting point, because you literally can jump in really quickly. Like you could honestly jump in and you could be making some type of game the same day that you started, like within an hour, honestly, because it is extremely easy to jump in and just start going. So yeah, I would highly recommend it if it's something that you have always wanted to do. Obviously, like it is easy, but it's not a walk in the park, right? Like you will have to you have to learn, you will have to grow, but like you don't have to know how to program or anything like that. Like everything comes pre-packaged, everything's ready to go and good to go. You will have to kind of figure out how to make things work, and there's tons of tutorials out there. But honestly, like the best thing to do is you just create a new project and you just start clicking on things. You just start clicking on things and just seeing what does what, and it'll like, you know, honestly, like within a couple hours, you would probably have a good portion of it figured out to where you could just start going. Let's see. Like, is it heavy coding and pixel art? I just don't know what I would be getting myself into, and would love any advice. Looks like a lot. You seem very smart and understand all of this. Do not take what I'm making right now to be what RPG Maker is. Like, do not let this scare you, because I know that a lot of this, you know, because like, here's the thing, a lot of this is like custom JavaScript that I'm writing. This is not how RPG Maker normally is. Let me show you really quickly. All right, I'm just gonna show you honestly like how quick and easy it is. So let me pull this up. It's probably gonna open up a project that I was using to make a short, so it's probably gonna look kind of bizarre. But yeah, so basically I'm going to show you really quickly. So this is RPG Maker MZ. So obviously there's MZ and MV. Excuse me. I would highly recommend RPG Maker MZ just because it is newer. You're going to have all of the features. If there's any more updates planned, you're going to get the updates and all that fun stuff. Let me just show you really quickly. All right. So I'm just going to click create new program, right? Or create new project. So it'll just create a new project right here. And you know, obviously like there's more you could go into, but like you can name your project, you know, there's like the initial data. This is like a new thing. I would say don't worry about any of this. Just do basic and just click OK. All right. This will create a new project for you. So this is just copying everything over, the sounds, the animations, the characters, monsters, everything like that. It's just copying everything over, and then it'll just create a blank project for you. And then obviously, you know, once you hit this screen right here, I don't know how intimidating this might look to you, but again, the best thing that I can recommend is just start clicking on things. Just see what happens, you know? Just so basically the way that it's all laid out is right up here in the top. This is just kind of think of this as your palette, right? This is what you can use to paint on the map whatever you want. So, you know, do you want to throw in some water? Click on the water and just start drawing. There you go. There's some water. Do you want to draw some deeper water? There's some deeper water. Do you want to draw whatever? You know, you just throw it on there. So yeah, so basically that's the way that it works, is just whatever is over here, that is what you're going to be drawing your map with. But yeah, and again, like just clicking on things, just being like, all right, what does this do? Like, what does this little square thing do? Click on the water. It's like, okay, cool. So that draws a square. You can draw a rectangle shape with that. This one draws a circle shape. This one fills. So yeah, just stuff like that. So honestly, like creating maps is extremely simple, and I honestly love the way that they do it. It's super simple as well to like edit and create maps. So like if you want to edit your map, you can either click on it. So if you right click and then click edit, it'll pull up the edit for the map itself, or you can just hit spacebar and it pulls up the same thing. And then in here, again, there's probably a lot that you just look at it and you're like, this is quite a bit. Honestly, there's not a whole lot in here that you will need to use right out the gate. You know, just throw this to be outside instead of overworld. Set the width to maybe be like, I don't know, 30, the height to be 20. Hit OK. There you go. It resizes the map, and yeah, then you can kind of start going based off of this. So, and then at that point, again, like you just kind of look through what you got. You know, so this is going to be all of like your actual environment stuff, so like walls, you know, grass tiles, dirt, stuff like that, and you can switch between different layers. And so this is going to be, you know, just like the different things that you can add to it. So since this is the exterior tile set, you can come in here, you got your trees, you've got rocks, plants, and then you come over here to your sea layer. This is things like obelisks and flags and rooftops and all sorts of different things. So yeah, honestly, like again, like I've said, and I've said it a few times, is you just jump in, you just start having a good time. Because like what I'm going to recommend, and this is across the board. Like this is whether you go with RPG Maker or not. If you go with Game Maker, Unreal Engine, you know, Unity, whatever it is that you may decide, Godot, do not have your first project be your game. Like, do not open your first project and be like, all right, this is gonna be my game. How am I gonna make this thing? That is the worst thing that you could possibly do. Do not create your first project and be like, all right, let's make my dream game. That's not gonna happen. Just start off and just start making just a fun game. Just be like, all right, how would I make a small little town with 2 houses and a path that goes through it? So you go through, you're like, all right, so this is where the dirt paths are. So like, you know, throw in a dirt path. It's like, all right, here's the walls. How do the walls work? Okay, cool. Like I can drag these, the walls automatically generate. Awesome. You know, throw on some roof tiles, kind of figure out your artistic style and stuff like that for how you want to draw your maps. You know, do you want to go with taller houses? Some people go with slightly shorter houses. You know, figuring stuff out like that. Here's a little tip actually for anybody who has used RPG Maker in the past, and you know, maybe you've seen some interesting things where people. So this is specific to auto tiles, and I bring this up only because I just learned this recently. Maybe you've seen some maps where you know, maybe so it's like with the auto tiles, they're kind of cool because as you go, it expands this like outer edge. So here on the left side, you can see it has like this little like closure almost, right? But maybe say, for example, you know, so say if you throw a doorway in here, right? What if you also wanted to have more of like the more of the stuff on the side of the edges, but you can't get it to go because you're like, what the crap is happening right here? Here's a fun little secret for you. Take the wall, draw an extra little thing right here. If you right click on the spot where you want it to be, and then hold down Shift and then left click, you can basically like copy and paste that. So let's make that too high. So that if you so again, right click, hold down Shift, left click, and then you can add things to the thing. Yeah. There's a little something for you. So yes, if you wanted to not auto tiles, right click, hold down Shift, and then you can draw just that singular frame of that auto tile. There's something for you. In case you didn't know that. It's for all my RPG Maker users out there. If you didn't know that, maybe you did, and maybe I'm just really slow on it. But anyway, that's how you do that. So anyway, and then events are another one that they seem intimidating, but again, it's just like jump in here and you just start going, right? So here is the event. So when you switch over to the event tab, you'll notice it kind of gets broken into this grid pattern. That's because RPG Maker works in a grid. And yeah, and then to be able to create an event, you just double click anywhere in one of those events, and it opens up this new event window. And again, there's a lot in here, but honestly, if you want to create an event, all you need to worry about is you got the image right here, and you can just choose from one of their pre-included images. So like, let's come over here. We're gonna do this. Throw in this lady with the pink hair and the helmet. And, you know, maybe we come in here and then we say show text. We want her to say something like, what's up? And maybe we'll give her a face. You know, we'll throw her face in there. And her name is Mary Sue. Yeah, her name's Mary Sue. And she says, what's up? And there you go. And now if we come in here and we test play. So we pull this up really quick. There we go. We're walking around our little map that we made, and we can come over here and talk to her, and Mary Sue says, what's up? Yeah. And that is the extreme bare bone basics. But again, like, I know that every single window that's going to pop up going to seem slightly intimidating. You know, like when I open this up and you see all these event commands, you're just like, what? But it's just one of those things where you're like, all right, start at the top and just see what happens. So now that you've seen, okay, that's how you show text. What does show choices mean? You pull that up and it's like, okay, choices, you know, choice number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, it's like, okay, so this is going to be showing choices. So you got yes, no, you got maybe, you got so. It's like, what does background do? Background, window, dim, transparent. I don't really know what those are. I'm just gonna leave that is. Window position, left, middle, right. I'm assuming that's probably where it's gonna put the message box. So I guess we'll leave it on the right. Default, I don't know what that means, so I'm just gonna leave it as that. Cancel is choice number 2. Oh, so maybe if I press cancel, this gives me the option to choose what it does. So yeah, I guess choice number 2, which is no, would be cancel. So there you go. And there you go. And now if we were to now go talk to her, she would then say, what's up? And it would give you a list of options. Yes, no, maybe so. And there you go. So yeah, so that is what I would highly recommend if you get RPG Maker, which I would recommend RPG Maker. It is a great way to get started with. Honestly, you do not need to do any programming at all. The great thing about RPG Maker is that because it is running on JavaScript, you can come in here and you can start writing your own JavaScript if you wanted to take it that extra step. Once you get past the point of actually knowing the engine, then implementing JavaScript to be able to change your game to however you want it to be is honestly a lot of fun. I really like it. So, yeah. So anyway, there's my 2 cents. I would highly recommend RPG Maker if you wanted to be able to just jump in and start making games for fun, just as a hobby, or if it's just something you wanted to start learning, see if it's something that is right for you. RPG Maker is a great place to start because you do not need to learn anything. You like anything coding wise. You don't need to create your own art. You don't need to do any of that because it just comes with everything. It comes with music. It comes with all of the characters you could possibly need. It comes with faces. It comes with monsters. It comes with extra bust images of all the characters, the freaking monsters, and yeah, like it comes with everything you would possibly need to create your game, which is honestly like the best reason to use RPG Maker, because it's like you don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about sourcing any audio or visuals. And you just get to jump in and just be like, all right, let me just get started. Let me go. So whether you're prototyping, you're learning for the first time, or whatever it is, I would recommend, just because you don't have to worry about all of that stuff. And you can just be like, all right, how do I make a game? And you can focus on that. And then, hey, if in a few months or a year, you're like, all right, cool. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on how to make a game. Now I want to be able to make something that's not just a top-down JRPG. I want to be able to... I want to make some kind of, 3D game or whatever it is that, or a strategy game, something that wouldn't really be super well made in RPG Maker. Then you can take that and be like, okay, well, everything that I've learned here in RPG Maker, I'm going to now take that and apply it to a project in Godot or in Game Maker or Unity or wherever you may want to go in the future. But anyway, as a first stepping stone, just to figure out if making games is right for you, like, call now if making games is right for you. No, because here's the thing. You don't want to spend a year. I'm so sorry. I'm getting over a cold and my voice is just about shot. You don't want to spend like a year, learning learning some engine, learning how to code, learning all this stuff. And then you get into it and you're like, oh, this isn't fun. I don't actually enjoy this. Why did I want to do this in the first place? Which is not great. It's not a great place to be in. But if you can use RPG Maker and spend like a weekend learning 90% of what the program has to offer in literally a weekend, like you could probably, like if you just sat down for a few hours on like a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday, you could probably learn about 90% of what RPG Maker can do outside of using JavaScript and all the crazy stuff as well. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I would recommend. So whether you want to use it for a hobby or just a way to be like, okay, is making games something that I actually want to do, then I would recommend it. So yeah. Another says, oh, you're checking YouTube now? Slowly but surely, I do check YouTube. Also, I finally changed my handle. Hey, I did notice that. A unknown artist YT. Much love, thank you. Of course, yeah, happy to help. If you can learn RPG Maker, anyone can. Exactly. If I can do it, anyone can, I promise. So yeah, thank you. This is very helpful and definitely be buying now. There you go. Yeah, fantastic. Just get RPG Maker and Graphic Gale for assets and you'll be fine. Hey Nick, if it's all right, can you put a playlist for MZ that I can focus on these? That's also where I put the browser game Screeps. Let's see, GHG says, could I make a big open world game in RPG Maker or is it limited? So, yes and no is unfortunately what I have to say there. So RPG Maker is relatively limited. So when I come in here and if I try to create a width of 999, it drops back down to 256. So 256 by 256 is the largest map you can make, which is still extremely large. It's not quite, I wouldn't consider it being like a massive open world, right? So say for example, as you can see here, so right here, this little spot right here. This is the town that we made, right? And, I mean, it goes over quite a bit, but it's definitely not any massive open world, right? It is only so large. So there are limitations like that. You're not going to be making some massive open world. You can make a very large map, right? And especially like depending on how detailed you get, like if you make a map that is very, very detailed and has a lot going on, like you could make the map feel larger than it actually is. But yeah, you're not going to be making some huge expansive world that just like, people wander around for hours. But obviously you can create more maps than just this one. We can come in here and we can create another map that is 256 by 256. And then, basically kind of going off of that, obviously you would have to transition to that map somehow, somewhere. And so that it would feel like different zones, but you could kind of like cobble them together just a bit to make it feel like it is one large, but it's still going to be in zones. So yeah, hopefully that is useful for you. Let's see. I've seen maps that are 50 by 50. Oh, 50/50. It's a 2D art style software thing like Sprite. Yeah. So Graphic Gale is if you want to create your own graphics as well. But again, like RPG Maker comes with everything you would need technically. So, but again, and I've made shorts about this on YouTube actually. So I have said that like, and kind of like I pointed out before, for your first project, probably your first few projects, don't try and make your dream game. Like, just make a project and then just start experimenting, learning the engine, getting to the point where you kind of understand it, and then eventually, make your dream game. But make sure that that's a little bit down the road. Like, make your few experimental project games first, and then make a game, and then later down the line, make your dream game. If you start out with your dream game, or even if you just do one test project and then your dream game, I'm not saying that you can't, but the likelihood of you giving up is quite high, depending on depending on what the scale of your dream game is. I would recommend making sure that you are feeling comfortable with the engine before you then try and make the game you've always wanted to play. So make a couple just silly games, make some fun games, make some games that just don't take themselves very seriously, because then if there's anything that just kind of feels weird, awkward, goofy, quirky, you just kind of I'm just making a fun, goofy, quirky game. So that way you're not worrying about does this dialogue feel right? Does this character feel serious enough? It's like, no, you're just making a fun game, right? So yeah. But anyway, so to answer your question, yes, you can make large maps, but you're not going to be making a giant open world with RPG Maker, unfortunately. Let's see here. I'm also sick right now as well. Hey, there you go. It's going around. It's really going around. I really appreciate all the advice. Just subscribe. Looking forward to all the future content. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I am definitely trying to get more content out there. So, but we are live streaming here 3 days a week. So, as long as I'm not sick, 3 days a week here. And and if you ever run into any questions, any issues you've got, feel free to ask. I am always 100% ready to jump in and help out. Unless, of course, your question is something that I don't know the answer to. Then I won't be able to help. So, all right, let's see here. What have I missed over here on Twitch? Oh my gosh, I feel like I missed so much. See, I should learn JavaScript. You should. JavaScript is a lot of fun. See, Frozd, first time chatter, welcome. First of all, glad you're here. It says RPG Maker is good, but I wouldn't recommend getting stuck in it because because it can't do action-like games unless you get plugins and deal with that mess. Sorry, hey Moon, you're good. So actually, there is Action Game Maker. There is that now, technically, if you wanted to make action games. But yeah, so specifically, if you're wanting to make RPGs, that's where RPG Maker would be recommended. But there is Action Game Maker, which does allow you to make action games. So if you wanted to use that, it is a bit more complicated. So you kind of have to figure that out one on your own. It's like, well, do you want to have to learn how to make it an RPG Maker, like the Action Game Maker, Or do you want to go use like, Godot or something like that to learn how to use it? So, either way. Okay. It's Fairly's Fantastic Scroll. That's the one that we have fixed. Maybe. There we go. The magic scroll of Fairly will make you nimble. Did I actually add a line break there? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, so that is obviously in a not good spot. What we can do is come over here. Line break there. Yeah, this is just me. I just have to kind of figure out where the line break the first line break needs to be. So I can kind of figure out roughly where the other line breaks need to be. It was right there. Okay, there we go. Magic Scroll of Fairly will make you nimble, but at the expense of your maximum health. There we go. Awesome. Lucas says, I thought you were going to forsake our Lord and Savior Godot. No. I remember Godot. Godot does not leave my list. Ad? Oh, I'm sorry for the ads. Yeah, that's new. Spouting knowledge. I try Axiomyth games. Some Rendev has brownies. Could you bring like 1 or 2 over here? I would really like a brownie right now. Who is Mary Suing? Oh, just that character. That character is good old Mary Suing. The little lamb. Get VX Ace. That's one. VX Ace is a very good one. I do like VX Ace. It is being bad. How do I expand comment windows? Comment windows. Wait, which comment windows? Which one are you talking about, Dazu? I'm going to remake the entirety of the Earth in complete 3D in RPG Maker OG. There's one person I believe in. I believe in you, Unknown Artist. I believe you could do it. MV was smooth zooming. XP is stuck with set zooms. Wait, what? MV has smooth zooming. XP is stuck with set zoom. I'm not sure I know what you mean. A dream game is a black screen with no noise or music or characters or gameplay or game or computer. So Sleep. That is a good game right there. You can make big world, but there will just be transition. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You try closing your eyes. You do not use Action Game Maker. I'm just saying. I'm not recommending that people use it. I'm just saying that it can be used. That's all. Godot's easier. The name is Betrayal and Evil. It's like $100. That's true. It is very expensive. I don't know if I'm ever going to use it. I will eat you if you use Action Game Maker. Did you read my message? I feel like it was missed. I think I did. Okay, yeah. I didn't technically miss it. I just was over on YouTube chat more, but now I'm back. So I did read it. You did. It was delayed. Yeah, I was very delayed. I was very delayed on that one. Okay, so now that I know the rest of the story, so now I know it's roughly here-ish that I gotta break that off. So that's 79. There's nothing else that edits 79, right? Right. Yeah, this is gonna be all right. I just need to get it all figured out. It's roughly here after the will. Select 10. Yep. So I'm basically just going through and getting rid of all the current line breaks. We're not breaking it into such a small box now, so we can have the regular line breaks. But what we need to do is then add them back afterwards. So line break is roughly here-ish, so it will make you smarter. We're also going to be rewriting these, so that's why I'm not too worried about most of them. I just need to get them slightly more functional. Yeah. Okay. Time break is here-ish. But are so sharp. Do line break here. So sharp. Cut yourself just by looking. Okay. Oh, wait, we never do... Gosh, we never did. Okay, so we never got that far. Cool, cool, cool. Cool beans. In RM XP, the zoom is set to 3 different zoom. Checking RPG Maker XP if you still don't understand. So in RM XP, the zoom is set to 3 different zoom. Oh, are you meaning on the map? Is that what you're meaning? RPG Maker XP. I feel like I'm losing my mind. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. That's yeah. I completely forgot that that's all you could do. You had the 3 different zoom levels. Man. They really have come a long way, haven't they? Was this also 256? Oh, it just warns you. But you could do 500. Oh, man. Yeah, you used to be able to do 500 on XP. Oh my gosh. Look at this massive world you could create. Holy smokes-a-cola. That's a biggin. That's a biggin. I don't know what I did to my thing here. Standard. Here we go. Oh, that's right. You have to manually change the layer. Oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot all the joys of XP. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I forgot the... We're gonna call them the joys. The joys of XP. Where, yeah, where you had to create these trees first, and then if you wanted overlapping trees, then you would switch to this layer and be like, alright, now you're there, you're there, you're there, there. There. Oh, there. Then if we do this... Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Man. What a time to be alive, am I right? What a time to be alive. So many hours spent in this engine. And yet that I come back and I'm like, wait, how do you do this thing again? What's going on here? What in tarnation's going on here? Oh yeah, but then that means that I could come in here and be like, all right, that's all gonna be like that. Then I could be like, wait. Oh my gosh, I've completely forgotten. There are parallaxes in XP, right? Did you define the parallax? Am I going crazy? There are parallaxes in XP, yes? Yeah, XP has parallaxes. A pair of lackings features. What? Huh. Huh. I could have sworn. What? Now hold up now. Panoramas? I see you, some Randev. I see you. But like, what? That's where it was. Panoramic graphics. Oh my gosh, that's right. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Oh. So you have to define it in the tile set. Oh my gosh. Oh, they used to do it like that. I completely forgot that's how they used to do that. Oh, man. Unknown artist, good luck. Good luck. I do kind of miss having the shadows, though. The shadows, I do remember the shadows, and having the shadows were kind of fun. The fog graphics. I liked being able to, yeah, like, you could, like, change the opacity, the blending, the zoom. Oh, man. Wait. Is this scroll? You could scroll the fog? Okay, so you couldn't scroll the panoramic, but you could scroll the fog, right? You could have the fog scrolling. Oh, you can. See, MV doesn't have that. It does not have that. You have to have a plugin to do that. So, yeah. I don't know if I ever had scrolling fog in any of my XP games. That's not a recent feature. Fogging? Unbelievable. I don't know if it's just because when I was younger, I never really knew what that meant. SX, SY. So I think it's just because I didn't know what it did, and so it made me nervous, and I never wanted to click it. There's no way. Like, this has got to be something that wasn't here before. Because I feel like I would have used that if it had been in here originally. Whoa! It's so windy! It's so windy, everybody! Oh yeah, there's no run key. Anyway, alright, that's enough of that. So yeah, zooming. Yes, zooming is definitely a very different thing in XP versus MV, where you can just zoom out. You can zoom in. You can actually zoom in a lot. Kind of crazy. Anyway, it's rough, just a little bit. It still gets the job done, but it is a little rough, just a little bit. Okay, speaking of rough, yes. So the pyro, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of this one. This guy right here, yeah. We don't need it. We don't need it. Delete it. Over here. You are just going to be somewhere. There we go. 1 through 7 is just going to be 1 through 6. Okay, so that should never give us that thing again. Okay, cool. Man. We're making progress, but I think my I think the lingering sickness is finally just about to beat me out. There's still a handful of things that we're gonna need to do. I need to Well, we need to rewrite the descriptions for these anyway. That's going to happen. We need to get the icons showing up over here instead of down here at the bottom. Because if I select this one, it'll just
kind of do that whole thing, which is not exactly what we want to see. And then we also need to add the stats over here. So we still need to add those. Let's see, what else? So down here, as you can see, there's a little
carrot pointing up. We don't want the carrot, so I need to actually update the font, because the font is what we actually used to have showing that it was going to that. I guess what we could do is, instead of doing that, we could just say you you. So instead of being plus carrot, we could just say plus you. This is going to be specifically for Fairly's fantastic scroll. Yeah, so on the negative perk, the red part, I think that one works just fine. So maybe we just replace all of the carrots with greater than signs. Yeah, that should be fine. Should be all right. Imagine it'll taste fine just the same. And then if we ever want to go switch back to the carrot, because the carrot, the reason why I used a carrot was because I was like, well, we're not using a carrot anywhere else, and so I was able to just turn the carrot into an actual arrow. So that's why we were using that. But if we want to, we can switch it back to that. For now, I think we're just going to use the greater than sign, and that should be all right. Out of here. Hair on one of my keys. There we go. Okay, so it is this one. Oh. Oops. Close, but not quite. So I need to update both of these. I don't know how I didn't realize this was just the debuff stat. It's because this is a conditional, this is an if statement. I did not realize that. I also need to update you to not be a carrot anymore. No more carrots. No more carrots. You. Okay, there we go. That should look a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. I'm actually really liking this font. I think the updated font works way better. Hair is just spaghetti for cannibals. Well, I am not a cannibal, so gross. It's gross to me. I don't know what it is. Like, as soon as hair is like detached from the head, it's just it's gross. It's nasty. All right, well, there's still going to be some updates we have to make. Yeah, the font is a huge plus. Thank you. You know, I almost feel like you're mocking me. I don't know why, but it feels like that. But I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so yeah. Awesome. This always happens. It kind of does. I don't know why. I don't know why. Sometimes it just feels like you're mocking, and I'm like, what did I do? What did I say? Why is the mockery happening? Oh well, it is what it is. So, yeah. I just like to have energy in my messages, I promise. That is fair. That's fair. I guess I almost feel like it wouldn't, even if you just said, yeah, the font is a huge plus, I don't know if I would have read that as mocking too. I don't know. Maybe I would have. Maybe I wouldn't have. Who knows? Maybe it's just because I'm tired. It might be that. All right, so we still need to add the stats over here, make the icons go over here. But we're basically back to where we were before. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so we just need to rewrite some of these. I've been inverted. So we just need to rewrite some of the descriptions for the cards. We need to get the icons moved over here. We need to get the stats added right here. And I think that's about it. I mean, we might adjust some of the movement a little bit. I think the biggest thing for me is, yeah, the movement of the cards feels a little bit janky. It's like, because basically the way that the movement is working, it's like, you know, as you can see, it's like if I hover over this and if I move off, it stays there for a bit and then it starts moving again, right? The reason for this is because this is what's handling the actual animation of the cards. And so as it's going through and animating all of them, you know, it tells, you know, picture number 2 to animate over the course of 60 frames, so 1 second, and then it waits for 30 frames, half a second, and then another half second. And then after a full second, it then tells it to move again, and then move again, and then move again, and then move again. And then basically the reason why it sits there delayed for a while is because if I stop hovering over card number 2, right after it gives this command, it will then not receive another animation command for another full second. And so it almost kind of like misses this train of the animation executions, essentially. And so it kind of makes it feel a little bit off and weird. So I think what I want to do is I want to have the animation actually being handled in 3 separate events. That way, when you hover over a card, it specifically stops animating that card. And then as soon as you're not hovering over that card anymore, then it starts animating again. It might look a little bit weird because it could get the animations to get off a little bit. I don't know why I'm doing the 6-7 thing, but it may cause them to get off a little bit in their little wave pattern, which we currently have. But I think I would prefer that over what we currently have, which is hover over it, and then if it misses the train, then it takes a while for it to start animating again. Because this looks fine. Like, I like this. The animation looks great. But if I hover and then move, then it just kind of looks weird. So anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. As a certified cannibal, I can confirm. I knew it. I knew it. It's okay. When I shave, I'll mail you the snack. Unknown artist, it sounds like you are in for a treat. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's probably where we're going to end it. Again, I am... The end of my sickness is definitely taking over, but I'm hoping by Tuesday it'll all be 100% done, 100% recovered, all that fun stuff. So hopefully, fingers crossed. But hey, we got some decent amount of stuff done. Had some good chit chats. It was a good time, and yeah, good times. All right, everybody. Hope everyone has an absolutely fantastic rest of your evenings or mornings, days, wherever you may be in this world. I hope, I hope we all have a good time. I'm so tired. I'm going to go get some sleep. See if I can get feeling 100% better. And, yeah. Oh. Well, there we go. That is the perfect end to the stream. So, yeah, with that, hope everyone has an absolutely fantastic rest of their days, mornings, evenings, wherever you may be in this world. And, yeah, remember, never stop being creative. And we will see you on the next one on Tuesday. Until then, take care, good luck, have fun, and, yeah, goodbye.